Tie my laces tight enough, doubt into dust, fear into trust. Make your move. Make your move. Stretch first, warm it up, quench your thirst. Like Monster, gotta go. Stack MQT, watch it grow. One more rep for the days you were tired. One more lap when you feel uninspired. One more choice that protects your peace.
They told you time was money, but they forgot about the blood, the bone, and the breath. 2020 states logging. Let's get paid.
I see the steps you're taking, clicking like a Geiger counter. Every floor you're climbing makes mistakes a little mountain. It's more than just a sidewalk, it's a ledger in the sky. The distance is a data that the bankers can't deny. You're mapping out the planet while you're mapping out your soul, turning every mile into a piece of the control. MoveQuest journey, yeah, we're men in the sun. The world guys all the engine till the victory is won. Calories burn, all the sparks in the vault. If you're standing still, then the poverty's your fault. We're building up the wealth through the hell we reclaim. The MoveQuest protocol, remember the name. Watch the pulse rate climbing, that's the market on the rise. There's a hidden kind of fortune right behind those tired eyes. And when the sun goes down and the city starts to creep, you're compounding the interest in the shadows of your sleep. Rest is the recovery, the silent golden trade. The deeper that you dream, the more the debt is paid. Steps, workers, calories, sleep. Your biology is the currency. Stop giving it away for free. MoveQuest journey, yeah, we're men in the sun. The workers are the engine till the victory is won. Calories burn, all the sparks in the vault. If you're standing still, then the poverty's your fault. We're building up the wealth through the hell we reclaim. The MoveQuest protocol, remember the name.
Check your stats. Secure the bag. Go the distance.
across. I'm counting the gains and I'm burning the low. My phone is my compass, the satellite's my guide. I got a digital engine burning deep inside. From the city concrete to the mountain mud, riding my contract in my own red blood. The trail is calling and it don't take no. I got 1,000,000 miles left to go. It's a world without borders, a map without end. Every mile I conquer is a digital friend. I'm out on the MoveQuest trail. I'm a hurricane wind in a tattered sail. Every step is a token, every mile is a win. I'm shedding the past and the original sin. Tracked by the light, watered by the sun. The quest ain't over till the work is done. MoveQuest trail. Napoleon Hill said go the extra mile. I'm doing it now with a 100 smile. Bedrolls are shouting, don't you dare slow down. I'm the king of the trail, I don't need a crown. Move to earn is the code I live. I got a lot to take, cause I got a lot to give. My GPS is humming a victory song. This is where the brave and the bold belong. The original sin, tracked by the light, rewarded by the sun. The quest ain't over till the work is done. Step, minute, run, minute. I'm the master of the circuit. The world is the gym, the quest is the way. I'm earning the glory of a brand new day.
Feel the ground shake. Every step's a dollar I make. Left foot, right foot, it's a game we play. Health and wealth in a single sway.
Step by step, watch me climb. Every move I'm cashing time. Run, walk, jump, it's all mine. Get healthy, get wealthy, redefine. Yeah, get healthy, get wealthy.
Redefine. What's my currency? No bank in sight. Sunrise to sunset, I own the night. Every stretch, every twist has a price. This grind pays twice, it's paradise. No excuses, no delay. Every motion makes my payday.
Yeah, hey, step by step,
watch me climb. Every move I'm cashing time.
Run, walk, jump,
it's all mine. Get healthy, get wealthy.
yeah, hey, step by
step, watch me climb. Every move I'm cashing time.
Run, walk, jump,
it's all mine. Get healthy, get wealthy. Redefine.
Stumble, fall, I'm still in the race. Each bruise another badge I embrace. Momentum builds, can't erase the sound of coins in every pace. Every pace, every pace. Yeah, come on.
Get healthy, get wealthy, redefine.
All right. Welcome everyone to our Thursday night call. Most of you are aware that right now MoveQuest is going through a process of launching its own blockchain and implementing 4 or 5 other blockchains into our ecosystem. So these Thursday night calls have been set aside by the creator, Miss Lynette Orden, to actually go explain and go into a little more detail about how various aspects of all of that works so that the community can have an understanding of a better understanding of everything that's taking place and how it all intertwines with one another. So that's what these Thursday night calls are set aside for. We want to welcome any of those that have recently come on board with MoveQuest. We welcome you to the community and look forward to experiencing great things with you as the days, weeks, months, and even years come. Before we get started, I want to address one thing. I had one question that did come up, and it's ironic because I wanted to mention this tonight as well. And the question was, when Lynette comes on, can we have her at some point this evening discuss why we can't use USDC or USDT, basically a stable coin for our submissions, so that it could cut down on some of the volatility or gains that take place when the market is actually fluctuating. I'll allow her to address or answer that, when we bring her up. But I also wanted to share one other thing that's a possibility. There's nothing that can be done for any AVAX that has already been purchased because, we can't control the markets, of course. But one thing that we can do for future AVAX purchases that are going to be used for submissions, there's one extra step that we may have to do, but it could save you a little money or keep you from experiencing as much volatility in the market. One of the things that I've been doing is I'm holding USDT in my mining wallet, and I just take that extra step each day to actually go in and, let's say I need $7 or whatever the case is, I will literally swap $7 worth of USDT into AVAX at that time. I'm getting ready to submit and move that to my internal wallet so that I'm only I'm eliminating market fluctuation from the equation by buying it in real time and just using it for my submission. And then the next day, I will do the exact same thing. It is one more step, but that is one way that we as miners can actually manage that, especially now with the markets, kind of dropping, and that's across the board, or what have you. And then when we start seeing the markets go back up, then we can experience the gains that come with, the market increasing when we purchase that AVAX, but we don't necessarily have to suffer through any reductions in price during that process, or what have you. Just wanted to add that little quick note, and we'll check with Mr. Hayden to see if he has anything that he wants to share before we bring Lynette up this evening.
Hey,
Whatever information she wants to share. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Herschel Crow, always good to see you tonight. How's everything
Likewise.
going?
Likewise, everything's
Hey,
good.
that was some amazing advice that you gave, and it's a common conversation that we're having right now. So it's really important that people pay attention to the price that you went in at, and then do exactly what Herschel said when the price dips. Just recognize that that's a great opportunity to buy some for that day, and then just take care of what you got to do. So thank you so much for that amazing advice, Mr. Herschel Crow. You are always on point. And as always, I'd like to say good evening to everyone and welcome to another super cool Thursday edition of the MoveQuest Community Call event. As Mr. Herschel Crow said, my name is Hayden Andre, your friendly neighborhood digital asset investor, and I'm always lived up, fired up, living in the zone of success, as you all know. Listen very carefully, crypto, Web3, and blockchain fans. This is a big quote from the living legend, Mr. Warren Buffett himself. As you know, sometimes billionaires, they drop some gems that are easier to say than do, and that's a great indication that it's something to pay attention to. So this quote goes like this, and many of you might even know it because it's a common quote. But as always, the reminder benefits the entrepreneur. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy only when others are fearful. And right now, there's some fear going through the market. You're seeing it inside the media. People are getting a little anxiety when it comes to these crypto prices. The blood is inside the waters. Bitcoin is at 63,000 K. Ethereum, $1,800. XRP on sale at $1.22. As Mr. Herschel Crow just said, AVAX is taking a hit, $8.32. But look at Juicy MQT just stabilized at around $6, handling all of that pressure. Either way, all of it is buying opportunity. This is a perfect moment to reevaluate your personal situation and take a good look at what you can afford because there's an amazing opportunity to gain right now. So, that being said, Herschel Crow, back over to you.
All right, all right. Well, that's all I have for intro purposes. We're going to go ahead and get to the meat and let Miss Lynette come on and share whatever information she wants to share with us this evening, and see if she chimes in on the last person's question in reference to that as well. Miss Lynette, how are you doing this evening, ma'am?
I'm doing good. I don't know what the last person's question was. You might have to share it with me. I'll tell you why. I let my dog out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to let you out before I have to start the Zoom. Got him his treat, so he ran to his crate because he knows treat, crate. And I came back in, sat down on my computer, and I started going over the hatchery numbers. My son comes upstairs and he goes, don't you have a Zoom at 7? I'm like, oh, shit. It was 7:05. I wasn't even zoomed into you guys yet, so I didn't hear the question.
Nah,
But
no
if it
problem.
is it about the crypto markets or was it about taking USDT for
Yes,
submission
yes. It
fees?
was it was specifically in reference to in our ecosystem, you know, why couldn't USDT be used, the stablecoin be used for submissions in lieu of the AVAX, especially with when the markets are doing what they're doing?
So yeah, honestly, I guess it was more about the simplicity for the user because if you have to have, AVAX for gas fee, USDT for submission fees, it's already, you know, confusing enough for some people. And MoveQuest, believe it or not, 90% of our users are new to crypto. They haven't been involved in it. So it's not, I mean, there wasn't a reason why we couldn't do it unless, I asked Waleed, just in case I was wrong. Okay, we actually could do that for the submission fees. I mean, it would be better for the project as well, you know what I mean? Because the project has to deal with that volatility. So, we have to do some finagling, or I do, to make sure our numbers all stay consistent. And I belong to a couple of VIP groups where I've been a part of them for years. So, I mean, I've always got side monies staked that I pull back over in case, the ecosystem loses in the AVAX conversion. But so, I mean, I kind of have us covered in that way. But for the user side, I mean, we can do it, but everybody has to understand it's an extra token that you have to have in your wallet. You still have to have AVAX on Avalanche. You'll still have to have BNB on Binance Smart Chain. You'll still have to have Solana on the Solana chain. You'll still have to have whatever the native token is for each blockchain because that's what they take for their blockchain fees. So I mean, I guess we could kind of see, we can talk about it and see if it makes sense, to do that. But the last thing we want to do is make it more difficult for people and say, okay, now you have to have USDT for proof of physical activity. You have to have AVAX for when the person can do what you just said and they can take USDT and buy their AVAX daily. I look at it like this. Crypto is always going to go up and down. So there's times when you bought AVAX at $9 and it moves up to $12, $13, $14. Okay, now you're in profit, but nobody complains about that. The only time they complain is when it's down. So, I mean, you get to experience the ups and the downs of crypto. It's kind of, honestly, it's what I love about crypto. Of course, we hate to see it when it goes down, But if you're careful, with how you manage it, I'm just going to share my screen here in a minute, because one thing that Hayden had just mentioned was, the current market prices. Now, you guys, I've been involved in crypto since Bitcoin got started. Literally, when we had paper wallets, it wasn't even a penny yet. And I'm going to tell you, every January and February and March, it is always like this. You've got your companies, you've got people that are holding large amounts of crypto. I mean, I would dare say, and I'm not going off anything that I know for fact, I just know from people I know, people who have made millions. Sometimes, I know people have made $500,000 a day, with just buying, certain cryptos back when they first, got started. But I believe that there's been major wealth made in the crypto space, more so with your average everyday person than what you would see like with the stock market and things like that. Because just my experience and people that I've talked to, my own experience over the last 20 something years, it's been almost 2009 to 2026, so it's been what, 15, 16 years, something like that, right now, in crypto. Every January, February, March, it's always like this. I mean, you can bet your bottom dollar on it. I mean, and I track cryptos, at least, especially the ones that I hold. And I mean, I'm holding Ethereum and Bitcoin from way back in the day. I mean, I bought, Ethereum when it was 55 cents, a token. And Bitcoin when it was less than a penny. Of course, I don't have those because they're locked up in a crash hard drive that I still hold on to. When I do get my hot little hands on those, I'll share it with all of our MoveQuesters, trust me, because there'll be more than enough to go around. We'll figure out something to do with it. But it's more than I could ever spend. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that I've tracked crypto for years. And this is not new. It's not fear necessarily. I'm sure some people, and I'll tell you who is fear selling. It's those that are new to crypto. They got involved, they see it drop, and they're going, oh my God, what is it doing? I told you I should have never got into crypto. I just went out and spent, $100,000 of my retirement. I bought, just over a Bitcoin, and now it's at $60,000. I'm getting out while I can. I should have listened to everybody that told me crypto's a scam. And what do? They get out of it, and then next month, everything goes right back up again. Then they're sitting there going, gee, what did I do? So it's your new people that are getting involved in crypto that don't know how volatile, crypto really is. And that's one thing I love about MoveQuest, you guys. We don't have that volatility. One, we're paired to a stable token, but two, we've got that self-funding ecosystem. And, our ecosystem right now could drive the market up and stabilize it at about the $12 to $15 mark. But the community is when the community is selling the crypto before the demand is there, the ecosystem won't drive it up for selling pressure. So like if you were to go and look at, let me bring up this chart for an example here. Let me come over and share my screen because I'm not sharing it right now. Let me see here. I was going to get up one of my. I'm not going to show the cryptos that I hold in my trending charts. But before I share my screen, I am just going to tell you, like, I was tracking Bitcoin, from just last year. So right now, this month, it's down 17.5%. So February is the worst month out of the last 12 months that Bitcoin has had. But if you go and you look back at all of the different cryptos and altcoins, February is the weakest month of the entire year for crypto. Out of the entire year, you'll see prices fall 21 to 25%. And on my sheets where I track, the cryptos that I watch and that I hold, it's always between 20 and 28% that these prices drop. Now, January is lower, but not as low as February. February is always the worst. So if you can get through January and February, you're doing pretty good. The reason you see a lot of those sellings too, people have to pay their taxes. Okay. And they will sell their crypto to pay their taxes. That's when you got to pay your capital gains on your crypto and all the, fun stuff that isn't always great to do. But once that's done, then you see the market correct itself and it will all come back again. So those of you that want to buy like Bitcoin and some of these tokens that are down, now is the time to do it. Now I can't tell you 100% what's going on with the AVAX token. I'm really kind of surprised that it's as low as it is right now. I really expected it to come back up a little bit more than what it was, lower than what it was, but not this low. But you start getting back into the end of March, April, May, you're going to start seeing all those crypto prices right back up where they were, and then they'll go up, even higher than that. I mean, that's just how it works out. I'm going to share my screen because I want to just show you like an example on our token, just so you can see. When you see the chart, okay, looking like this, the ecosystem, a lot of when you see these larger candlesticks, a lot of the time it's the ecosystem that's actually, trying to test the market to see what it's going to do. That means that it's sitting on bank's liquidity that it wants to inject. But here's the thing. With the ecosystem, it doesn't like to use the bank's liquidity unless it absolutely has to do so. So the reason I say that, when the market value is lower, it takes more MoveQuest. Just like when AVAX is lower and you're submitting, it takes more AVAX. It's still the same dollar value, but AVAX lost its market value. And so you need to buy more so that it's that same price. Well, we've got over...
Are you sharing your screen already?
Yeah, I'm sure my screen
Okay,
didn't pop up.
Yeah, we can't see it yet.
Zoom is notorious for that. Okay, now is it up?
Yes.
All right, so let me come back over here. So what I was showing you were these candlesticks. These are ecosystem buys. And what it's trying to do is it's trying to correct the market value of the token from, people that have oversold it. But it's got liquidity in its coffers waiting to correct the selling pressure. But it doesn't want to do that for the sellers, right? It wants to stay in sync with buyers and the demand to make sure that there's plenty of liquidity in there so you don't get an inflated market value. But if it drives up, like here, market value had gone down to 693, it brings it back up to 707. Not as high as what it was, a few days prior to that, but still testing it. And if you didn't see this type of stuff right here, it would have drove it up again. And then if it would have, withstood that market value, it would have either injected the liquidity to support that market value, or it may have even tested it to go a little bit further. It would just depend on how much liquidity needed to go in to stabilize each market value. But when it goes up and it corrects something, and then you see this kind of stuff here, you'll see it'll wait and it'll let it go down. Okay, then it'll do these short little corrections. I don't know if it did one today or not. I wasn't really paying attention because I was working on the Hatchery, but I think it did do a little one. Now, this is a good sign here. Let me go look and see if it did or not. I got to go check it and see. Okay, it did. So it removed, it bought, it added. But if you look at, it wasn't a huge correction. So what did it do? It was at 610. It took it up to 615. Okay, now this is a good sign. Okay, because instead of there being this kind of activity, you'll see this kind of activity. So what the ecosystem will do now is say, okay, is it gonna hold? and it's going to look for the community behavior. Is the community going to be like, oh, yay, it just went up 10 cents. I'm going to sell whatever I can. And then if it does that, the ecosystem says, okay, let you sell some more. And the reason is this. If the market value is low, it will buy and use that MoveQuest. So it will test it by removing, buying, adding back. It'll use what's there to test the market. But when it's time to inject the liquidity, it'll take that percentage like I was showing you guys on Tuesday, whether it be 25% or 50% of whatever it's holding on to, it'll buy that MoveQuest and use that MoveQuest. The amount of MoveQuest that we're currently holding, let me come over to this spreadsheet here for a minute and show you, so you kind of get an idea. Okay, so right now, the liquidity vault is holding 2,032,000 MoveQuest. The boost contract, 1658. The wallet, 26,000. The evolution miners, 15,000. So it's probably closer to 21 million. But let's just do this. Let's take that 2 million MoveQuest tokens, and then let's times it by the market value of the token. Okay, that right there is showing us that the liquidity vault at this time is holding on to $12 million worth of MoveQuest tokens. Now, remember when I told you the next 10,000 users that come in, they mint the 18 trailblazers, unlock their doc slots. That process in and of itself will take the MoveQuest token to a minimum of $98. And it actually stabilizes it at 98% fluid with the liquidity, meaning 98% of the community could sell all their MoveQuest tokens and be able to get within that 90. It'd be like between 98 and $90. It wouldn't fluctuate a whole lot because it would be heavy liquidity. So let's take that same MoveQuest and times it by that $98.12, and you'll see here what you're looking at. Let me change that color so you guys can see it better. $199 million. Okay, so this is why the algorithm doesn't like to use the banked MoveQuest, because when MoveQuest goes viral, when we have 500,000 users, 1 million users in MoveQuest, it'll happen someday. This MoveQuest is extremely valuable. This is what helps set how much value is actually in this project. So today, the project is sitting on $12.5 million of liquidity. It needs $12.5 million USDT to pair to that. Because remember, we don't sell that MoveQuest. So that belongs to the community's liquidity pool. So right now, the ecosystem likes that market value low when it has to buy. It wants to buy low, just like everybody else should be doing. And then you sell when you're comfortable with the market value, that you want to sell it at. If $6 is what that is, that's great. If $98 is what that is, that's great too. You hold until it gets there. But the project itself doesn't want to dip in to its banked liquidity vault. It wants to buy them up as low as it can right now. It wants to absorb as many of them as it can, and it wants to buy up as many of them as it can while the market value is low. Because the more MoveQuest that the ecosystem is holding on to, the more valuable this project is for all of you. So hopefully you guys understand, a little bit about the dynamics, with market values and all that. With MoveQuest being a closed loop ecosystem, it's a wonderful thing, if you think about it. So you guys might not like that low market value right now. So think about it like this. If you're in the hatchery, make sure you count those MoveQuests that you're farming every day. If you are in the mirrored miner event where you're going to get all those matching miners and doc slots, add up what it is that you're going to be getting, divide that, by I don't know, the next 90 days, I guess is what you're submitting, or however, it takes 90 days. Add that, and then what you are mining every day, add that, then deduct what you're spending in your submission fee, and you are way, 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 way ahead of the game. You're not losing anything when you're submitting right now, even if the market value is low. And then also keep in the back of your mind that while the market value is low, the project is actually becoming more stable, and it's actually becoming even stronger for that future liquidity. So hopefully you guys, you'll see all this take place. I'm just going to show you, because we are working with some people right now. Everything goes through. You guys, it takes a long time for companies and people to get everything ready and together to do the type of building that we're working on doing behind the scenes. So we're talking, you could see 30 to 50,000 people in MoveQuest in the very near future. And if that happens, you're looking at a market value anywhere, and I'm going to lowball it, okay, $500 to $800, okay, and that's low. That's being very conservative. So I'm going to take just the $500, okay, for that liquidity. You're looking at over $1 billion in liquidity that this project has already got banked. So this is why you don't see major injections of liquidity at this time, because it would use up too much of that MoveQuest. That's very valuable to you as a community for that future liquidity. You get 30 to 50,000 people who are using MoveQuest, and it's already got banked over $1 billion worth of liquidity. Half of the job is already done. So it doesn't need that new money. It doesn't need that new investors. Like I said, it's a closed loop ecosystem. And everything does take time, okay, to build and to get its, stabilization and all that good stuff. If MoveQuest wasn't going to work, if MoveQuest wasn't strong, wasn't stable, it'd have been gone a long time ago, just like all your other projects are. This is not that type of project. We're also only 390,000 USDT away from being fluid. We also currently have only 196,000 MoveQuest in circulation. It's not going to take any time at all, okay, when people start joining the community and that growth starts to really create some major demand. So one thing I don't want you guys to do right now is look at, a market value that the ecosystem is allowing to drop. And I had just told, I think it was the core group the other day, I said, if people start to kind of, freak out and it's starting to go back into that $5 mark, let them know that this is part of the algorithm, and it is being done on purpose, because it really is trying to absorb and get what's in circulation between 150,000 and where we're at now. 190,000 was the highest of the low, with 150,000 being, we couldn't go any lower than that. If we did, it would be too scarce. Okay, then you would start to look at inflated market values. So 150 to 190,000, and we're right in that mark. So it's very strong at the moment. So don't, when you're looking, you see, a market value when it was, a week ago at $8 and something. If the community oversells it, let them oversell it, because the ecosystem will absorb it. And then what happens? It goes into the liquidity vault. It can never be sold until it goes into liquidity first. So once the ecosystem absorbs that MoveQuest, or it buys that MoveQuest, it stays there until it becomes liquidity, and it has to be bought. So every time MoveQuest is sold, that it won't be sold again until it's bought. Even what comes in through the project, because we don't sell the MoveQuest ever. You will never see the ecosystem sell MoveQuest. It will never happen. We don't allocate it to anybody either. So, and we've got full accounting of the tokens. I can tell you right down to, the decimals, exactly where MoveQuest is, and exactly, how much has gone where and when. every single, that's the one thing about, blockchain, is that it is all transparent. So it just doesn't happen. So the ecosystem and the project are not competing with its community. So you know that if the ecosystem is trying to do a price correction on the market value, it wants to inject liquidity at a higher market value, but it's got to see that trend change. Like, it doesn't want to see these huge red candlesticks and just, bring the market value back up to see more of that. It will, gradually start bringing it back up again, but it will watch and see. I mean, it tracks everything. So I know I'm kind of going on and on and on about that, but I think it's important that people understand. So when you start to really understand what a closed loop, ecosystem is, a self-sustaining ecosystem, how the more engagement, the more stable it becomes, the more MoveQuest that the project absorbs at these low market values, the better it is. Because in the future, when the market value is higher, it's going to take less MoveQuest, right? Because it has a higher market value. It's going to take less MoveQuest to mint miners. It's going to take less MoveQuest, to do the different utilities, which is great for all of you that are holding on to a lot of MoveQuest. That means, and that's what I've tried to tell people too. You'll be able to live off your MoveQuest, just like some people can Bitcoin. If you can get to where you've got a nice little stash of MoveQuest, and I really should go over the Hatchery and show you guys, because I had shown somebody, if you just had 100 MoveQuest in the Hatchery, the tier 4, and I can't remember how many cycles it was. It might have been 4 cycles. The amount of MoveQuest that you would have, and based on specific growth, you'd be a millionaire just off that alone. And so you have to keep in mind that this here, it's all for the community. You may not like the market value, but you got to look at the other side of the coin and how stable the project itself is at this moment, at this time, because it doesn't sell that MoveQuest. It doesn't use it if it doesn't need it. It prefers to buy it at this low market value. But because it can't sell it, it wants to buy it as low as possible. So it will let the community sell it out and down. And I told the core team the other day, don't be surprised if you see it dip down into the $5 before it'll do the market correction. Because I'm just looking at, the algorithms and what the trends are. I don't think it ever did get down that far before it corrected itself. But I can tell you just here, the lowest that you'd want to see it go, if it and it wouldn't, I don't see the algorithm letting it drop that low. That would be the lowest it would let it drop. This would be the highest it could take it to right now. So it could stabilize it at the $26 mark. So it actually has gone up a little bit. This is the current mark, but this is as low as the ecosystem could let it go. I've never seen it let it go that low before, but that is the lowest it could let it go before it would come in, correct it, and inject. But there's not enough of it in circulation. The selling pressure isn't high enough to ever, to see it go to that low market value. But I'm just letting you know that this is what it could do. This is what it can do. But this is what the community is saying it likes. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. I know the whole community doesn't like it, but the majority of the sellers are selling at that market value. So you let them sell. Okay, eventually they don't have very much to sell. And those who are holding, you'll see, and you've seen the trends already where the selling pressure decreases, it'll start to go back up again. It'll get past that resistance point that it keeps, kind of fighting against right now. It's like tug of war. What the ecosystem wants and what the sellers are doing are two different things. It's a constant tug of war, but eventually the ecosystem will win out. All right. And it will go up and above that market value. And then when you start to see, that growth, and we do have that expansion that's coming, you're going to see this thing take off like crazy. It's going to be unstoppable. And then it'll be like Bitcoin, where you'll never see prices like this again. And I know people say, don't compare it to Bitcoin. We only have the 21 million max. Okay, that's what I'm comparing it to. Actually, MoveQuest is, and I know this is an arrogant statement, and I don't care, I'm going to say it anyway. because of the way the ecosystem is designed, because 90% stays with the project and with the community, you will see prices here higher with MoveQuest than what you've seen with Bitcoin with less people engaged in the ecosystem. So if we get to a point where we have 1 million or 2 million people, we will be triple, quadruple what Bitcoin's price is right now today. And that is no joke, because that is how strong this project's ecosystem is. It just, I don't know if people don't understand it, if they don't believe it, or if they've just, I don't know. I don't know what it'll take for people to understand the power behind this project, but it is a wealth building machine, and it will turn out more millionaires probably than any other crypto project has in its current past. And I can tell you this because it's not projections, it's math. And it's, like I said, a closed loop, self-funding ecosystem. It thrives on engagement. And you know why? I created the project the way Waleed, bless his heart, right? Because he puts up with me the way he does. But to be able to find somebody that was willing to learn crypto the right way, so that all of the utilities and the smart contracts and all the features and the functions that this hold were actually built the way they're supposed to be built in a crypto space. And because I have been involved in the crypto space for so long, and I've seen all of the crap, I've worked with project creators, I've told them, this is going to fail. You're doing this wrong. 9 times out of 10, they just laugh at me and you don't know what you're talking about. But now they're starting to see I really know what I'm talking about, because they're on to their 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th project that's already failed. And we're still working MoveQuest. And now they're coming back and starting to ask me, okay, what did you do to do that? And I'm like, well, you should have paid attention to me 8 years ago, because now I'm not telling you my secret sauce. Figure it out. Took me 4.5 years, millions of dollars. You figure it out. We're not giving that. We're not giving that away. But you have to learn crypto. And so all of you who are here, you know what? It may be a little bit complex. You may get frustrated. You're not the only one, okay? For as long as I've been in crypto, I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to throw my computer right off my back deck, because I get so frustrated sometimes, with things I had to learn. And the one thing was DApp wallets, like for the Binance Smart Chain, and because I wasn't using those. I was really Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm old school, Litecoin and Dashcoin and, that kind of stuff. I wasn't really into, the Binance Smart Chain and all that stuff. So when I started to get into learning all of that side of crypto, and I think what drove me there was those stupid NFTs that people were spending millions on that have no value whatsoever. Zero value. That's what really blew my mind. That's when I really started digging in, to the NFT space. And Waleed, he'll say he's not, but I would dare say he is probably the most intelligent crypto developer when it comes to smart contracts. And because he's learned it the right way, he's not a quitter. He doesn't take shortcuts. You have something that's very solid here that you can rely and depend on. And then not only that, but our MoveQuest blockchain, you guys, think about this. We really want to launch that blockchain. I really want to, with 25,000 to 50,000 users. That makes us a very strong blockchain. It's going to put us on the map. It's going to look so awesome across all of these, like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. It puts our blockchain right up there at the top where it should be. But the demand for that MoveQuest is going to be extremely high. And so you're not going to see these $6 prices anymore. I'm just telling you. Most people, are going to mine on the MoveQuest blockchain. And you're going to need that MoveQuest. And so that's when you guys want to sell it, is when that demand is there, when people need it, right? Because they're going to be doing their submissions with MoveQuest, just like what you need AVAX on the Avalanche chain, Binance, BNB on the Binance Smart Chain, yada, yada. And so those of you who are those holders, You're going to be very, very glad that you did. And I always tell everybody, don't get upset when people sell, you guys. This is an important part of this project right now. All right. Because you want that MoveQuest either in the vault or available for the demand so you don't get this inflated market value. So your sellers right now are making MoveQuest stronger. You may not think so, but if you look at it from the other point of view as to how much MoveQuest your ecosystem is banking and how much value it's going to have when that market value goes up, that means that you're going to be able to sell more MoveQuest at a higher market value. You don't worry about $433,000 in the liquidity pool right now. That means nothing because you've already got millions sitting there in MoveQuest to be paired to USDT. USDT comes in many, many ways. And so when people start to mint those Trailblazers, mint the Explorers, evolve up to their, Titans, get the Vanguards, buy the boosts, the challenges, the leasing will be beginning. You've got the MoveQuest blockchain. People are going to have to buy MoveQuest to be able to submit. Okay, that's going to fuel into that liquidity pool. All that's going to be matched to what right now has a $12 million market value of MoveQuest. It's going to be paired to that. So you're looking at $24 million liquidity pool. And if it's that 199 million, 200 million, that's a $400 million liquidity pool as that USDT gets paired to that MoveQuest. But what you don't have to worry about are whales because they don't exist here. There is not one whale in this project. There is not one person that holds enough MoveQuest that could tank it. Not one. There are no rug pulls, and there is nobody admin-wise, myself, Waleed, any person that's on payroll that is allocated MoveQuest tokens. You don't have to worry about them selling. You don't have to worry about the market value going up and then everybody, behind the scenes taking all your hard, your spent money to submit that goes into your liquidity. So you got to think about it like that. And hopefully you guys understand that. You guys get excited about that just by itself. You know what I mean? And we've been here 4.5 years. This project isn't going anywhere. It's barely gotten started. We've got the blockchain that's going to be deployed this year. We've got the MQT Pay wallet that's going to be deployed here sooner than the blockchain. So we're still in the development process. We're not even close, okay, to even getting started. We're just 4.5 years into development and delivering exactly what we promised to deliver. And all of you that have been here from day one, we deliver what we say we're going to deliver. There's not one thing we tell you we're going to do that we don't do. There's things that are complete that we haven't deployed yet because it doesn't make sense yet, but those features are done. One is the power up on the miners. Two is the leasing, although we're going to be, I'm still running numbers on that. I got to decide when we need to deploy that. I just told Waleed, maybe we should bring that up sooner than later just so people can get started with it. But let me go to the hatchery here. Did I use my test hatchery or did I use the real one? Okay, I used the test. All right, everybody, what you been waiting for? Tier 5, 0.0032. That's what your reward is. Tier 4 is 0.0022. And it will be a total of 323 days that you would stake that MoveQuest for. Why 323 days? Because those numbers worked for what can be, what is available for that tier based on, the community size, what can go out. And basically that would make it 3,055 MoveQuest that would be going out every day. That's not what is going out every day. That is the max. So that counts all of these bottom days down here when it's 447, 446, but up here when it first gets started, it is going to release 160 a day for those of you that are going into that tier 5. 0.0032. It's got a limit of 50,000. I will tell you that if you get in there and you change your mind and you leave, probably somebody's going to be right on your heels to get into the tier 5 hatchery. I would definitely not cancel your tier 5 once you get in there. And it's the difference of, let's see, if I was to make tier 4, let me make tier 4 50,000 so that you can see it's quite a big difference. 210 days at tier 4 is you're gonna farm, it would farm 29,000 MoveQuest tokens, where tier 5 will farm 90,000. So it's quite a big difference there. The only other thing I had considered doing was cutting that in half and making 100,000 for tier 5, and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Tier 4 or tier 5 is going to be 50,000. It's going to remain at 50,000, and we're going to make it a higher one because you are holding it for 323 days, so shy a year, but still quite a few more days than the 210. So it's like 115 days or 113 days or something more. So that is what that is right there. Let me come over and make this right before I lose where I am at in my spreadsheets. Okay, there we go. Let me come back over here. Okay. So does everybody like those numbers? Yeah, I'm making back over to Zoom so I can see your hearts. Everybody happy with that? Awesome. That's what I got tonight. Are there questions for me?
Well, let's see. We got here a couple of minutes late. So just wondering if the net is spoken about well, tier 5 is what everybody's asking about. I pretty much answered everything else. The date on that is still on the 8th, right?
Correct.
The 8th. And did we figure out a time? Because there's going to be people at the starting blocks.
I know. So I have not looked at the time. I've been playing with them numbers for the last day and a half just to make sure I was, I tried to get it down. I was going to go I played with 0.0027, 28, 29. And, it's just not enough difference for the project to cut it down. But it makes a big difference for the community to bring it up, if it makes sense what I'm saying. So on the project side, the difference, from 0.0028 to 0.0032 on this side doesn't really make a difference. Not a huge difference. But for the person who is staking in that tier 5, it does make a significant difference, especially if you roll it over for 2 or 3 cycles and you hold it until you get that market value you want. But, time wise, I don't know what is a good time to try to accommodate everybody in all time zones. So if you or Hayden or the community's got a suggestion, I'm open to it.
I'll talk to you about it.
Okay, good.
That would probably, well, yeah, I'll keep my mind. Yes, we'll talk about it. Just off the top of
We'll do a call. What is the 8th of Saturday, right? I really feel bad because I told he goes by F in the WhatsApp group that we would try to work around. It's their Sabbath, I believe, and they're not supposed to work on that day. And I really hope that you guys will just take that 5 minutes quick and just do it. And I don't know. I guess ask God to forgive you real quick. I think he would. And get into that hatchery. And because I don't think that moving it a day early is going to make a difference, because then we've got people in other countries that observe the Sabbath from a Friday night until Sunday or something like that. Somebody was telling me it's like a 2-day where they can't work. So, I mean, we're going to run into this no matter what we do. I'm never going to be able to please everybody. So hopefully, you guys understand. We're going to stick to the 8th and try to get it at a time that works for everybody. Otherwise, we would have to push it to Monday. And I'm good with that too, because there's not a Sabbath on a Monday. So whatever the community thinks, you know, I want to be fair to everybody. You know what I mean? But I just don't, I just know I can't please everybody. And as hard as I try, it's just not going to happen. That would be the only perfect solution. You know, we can't do it earlier because we've got people that are staked in the nest that, you know, it won't have, you know, met its maturity. So we go with, you know, the 8th at a good time, or we put it off till Monday. And I guess the community can kind of, you guys can kind of weigh in on that.
I was just finna say, hey, anybody that's listening right now, it'll at least give you a good idea of what, you know, the people that are here. There's 140 people on the call right now. It'll give us a good snapshot of what the community feels. Is there anyone, I guess, would it be okay to the masses to wait till Monday versus Sunday, or does it matter? I guess. Is Monday okay? Is I guess the question.
Okay, that works then because then I don't have to. I mean, because you know what, I go to church on Sundays too, and you know, I mean, we grew up observing the Sabbath, but I work 24/7, so I'm hoping that that's not going to, you know, keep me out of the pearly gates. But you know what I mean? I want to respect people's religious beliefs, their faith, and what, you know, they live by, and not make it difficult for them. So I'm glad you guys are good with Monday. That should please everybody. It's not going to slow any process down. So Monday it is. Now we just have to pick a good time.
Hmm.
And we'll let you guys know what time that'll be. Okay, so, you know, maybe what we'll do is I'll send out, you know, a notification through the app. We'll also put it on the dashboard. Um, you know, for the, you know, when you go to the hatcheries, we'll put down the launch time, and we'll set a time by tomorrow, and I'll have Waleed add it, you know, to the dashboard so everybody sees it. That way we can kind of get people to weigh in on it and what works. We have a lot of people. When I'm going to bed, they're just waking up and they're getting their day moving, you know. So we want to be able to make sure that, you know, people that are in these other countries that are in the nest waiting to get into that gold, you know, the tier 5 are able to do so. It's going to be a race because there's more than 50,000 in the nest. And so you guys, you know, if you don't make it into tier 5, you're going to want to roll into tier 4 because that's getting full too. And we don't have any room to bump that up at this time unless we close out, you know, tier 1, because that one doesn't seem to get a whole lot. Tier 2 doesn't seem to get a whole lot. So, I mean, we could close those out and expand tier 4. I can't expand tier 5 because it is 0.0032. You know, I can't go any higher than that on that one.
Okay, so this and I want to make sure I address this again. We've done it for the last 2 weeks just to make sure, but I want to make sure that there may have been some people that were not on the calls. Tier 5 hatchery. In order to go into tier 5 hatchery, MQT has to be coming out of either the nest or one of the other current hatcheries. Now, if you go in an existing hatchery and you cancel, you cannot go straight into tier 5 because you will have to go into the nest for 10 days before you can go into tier 5. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're not able to get in, thinking you can get in. So no, if you have a already matured, well, you wouldn't have an already matured tier 4 hatchery right now because it hadn't been 210
It
days
hasn't been.
in
Right.
existence. So to get into Tier 5 and be able to compete for a spot, basically you would have a matured hatchery from last year that you hadn't done anything with or put it into a hatchery yet, or you will have needed to, in the previous 13 days, 12 days, when it was announced, because it was pushed to the 8th, now the 9th, which adds another day at the moment.
We gave them 15 days total.
Right. And now there's an additional, which would be 16 if it's done Monday instead of Sunday. So basically, if you're not already in the hatchery, I mean the nest, or have some matured cards readily available, you're not going to be able to get into the hatchery, Tier 5 hatchery at this point.
Right. And also, let me add, so before we made that announcement, there was like 23,000 MoveQuest tokens in the nest already.
Right.
Now, not sure what, and they'd been there, some of them passed the 10-day mark already, and they hadn't moved into the golden hatchery at any of the tiers. So you got a couple things happening here. Maybe they're just waiting for Tier 5, right? And I didn't, everybody knew about it the night I announced it. I didn't go to the core team and tell the core team. Nobody had pre-notice. So it's not like those MoveQuests were sitting in the nest anticipating a Tier 5. You guys all heard about it at the same time. So there could be people that are just not paying attention and don't realize that there's a Tier 5 and haven't moved out of the nest into the golden hatchery. If that's the case, you could still get into Tier 5. So if you are holding, MoveQuest, you might want to still put it in the nest anyway, just in case, even if it is going to mean you got Thursday, if you didn't submit yet, you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days. You'd only have 5 days to wait. And if those people still aren't paying attention, chances are you could still get into Tier 5. And if they are paying attention, it fills up. At least you can get right into Tier 4, which is still amazing compounding. Okay, Tier 4 is the shit. Tier 5, just a little bit more than Tier 4. But you have to lock it up longer. So either tier is great. All the tiers are great. It just depends on how long you want to stake for. That's less per tier based on the staking time. So you stake for the amount of time, and then you farm for that amount of days to get, the rewards. If you don't submit for a day, you just don't get the farming, you just don't get the farm rewards that day. I had Waleed add a new PDF document on the hatcheries. You'll notice on Tier 5 it says coming soon, so I'll get that updated with the new values, and I'll have him add the new one. But it does describe, what the hatcheries are, and how they work for those of you that are interested. And I haven't looked to see where he put it yet, but I'm guessing he put it on the hatcheries page. It's probably up in the upper right-hand corner somewhere where you can open that PDF file.
One other thing, Lynette, I just want to put it out there, and I know this puts you back.
Oh, the Q chips. Nope. Waleed, is he on this call? I'll have Waleed get on Zoom with me right after this and get those Q chips out. Oh my God.
Okay,
I'm so terrible with it.
And
You
while
guys, this is why I told
there,
you.
we'll make sure the child
Automation.
We'll make sure the child
Yes, no, we'll get it done.
or whatever.
But you guys see why Herschel, this is why you want a decentralized project, right? Because you don't want to rely on some human idiot like me who says she's going to do something and then forgets to do it. Oh, would you like your withdrawal request? Well, sure, I'll do it. And then 2 weeks go by and I haven't hit a withdraw button? You guys got to love decentralization because you control everything. You want your money, you click a button, you got your money. Why? Because smart contracts manage it, not somebody like me, right? Oh my gosh, I have a hard enough time getting my trash out on Tuesday by 9 o'clock in the morning.
But no, the question that the statement that I was gonna make and it's an all fairness statement. There are some people, this is just another side of the equation. There are some people that have been on the calls that took action immediately when you made the statement that night that purchased MQT, put it in the nest so that they could make sure that they were locked and loaded and ready to go on the 8th or what have
Mhm.
you. And now adding an additional day now kind of puts them in a situation where
Mm.
they may not be able
Oh, yeah.
to actually get in there, but they followed the instructions from day one. Early
All right. So
adopters,
we just need
active
to stick
takers.
to the 8th. We just got to stick to the 8th then. Because you're right. Because what could happen is that somebody that started a day later than them, their card wouldn't have been mature. But because we gave them an extra day, the card is mature. And that could cut somebody out that started right away. Is that what you're saying?
That is correct.
All right. We got to stick to the 8th then, guys. We just have to. Ugh, I'm really sorry
And
about
then there's
that.
a lot of
So we're
things
back
about
to,
people that work. It may not, it's more people that
yep,
work
yep,
than
yep.
it is that
Yep.
Sunday would be a problem for. And
Yeah, nope, you're right. We can't, you know what? We're never going to be able to accommodate everybody. We got to just stick to the 8th, like we said. Those of you that, you have a faith and things that you observe on Sunday, I mean, you're just going to have to take that 5 minutes. It'll be worth it. Pay some extra tithe, when you get your MQT out. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you. Read that PDF because there are some people. Okay, so I've been working with my attorney to really research the staking. Okay, and a lot of people have asked me um, tax. Like I don't give tax advice, but I did explain on that document how the MoveQuest staking and farming is not your typical staking. Okay, so the same rules do not apply to MoveQuest staking and farming. And if you read in that document, you'll understand it's at the bottom why we're different. And so you do not have to claim that as like unrealized gains or as profit because it's not an investment tool. It is based on your proof of physical activity. It is based on whether you've submitted or not. It's not coming out of a pooled amount of MoveQuest. It's not coming out of profit sharing. It's not coming out of a lot of other things that your typical staking and farming protocols do. So while I didn't give you tax advice on that document, I did explain it to you as best as I could. And then from there, you'll have to take it to your accountant, your attorneys, or whatever it is that you do and have them explore that law a little bit further. But I did want to give you where we sit as far as what type of staking and farming MoveQuest is so that you at least can better explain it when you do go to do your taxes and stuff. But as far as we are concerned, and from what we've been able to research and figure out, um, it you don't have to pay as you're mining those tokens. It would apply just like any other crypto when it goes to your wallet and it's converted into cash. You would, you'd be responsible for your taxes when it goes into that fiat currency. So again, I'm not telling you that I'm 100% factual, but here in the United States, it appears that that's how it will work. And other countries may have different laws, but at least you know how to explain it to your accountant when you go to do your taxes. I mean, really, right now, it'd kind of be considered a loss if you've locked up your MoveQuest tokens, right? There are no gains. In fact, you'd kind of because you don't have it. I mean, you've got access if you wanted to cancel, your staking, but you really, as long as it's locked in there, they're not even in your wallet, so it's not even considered your crypto at the moment because you've locked it in a smart contract. So until you claim it back and into your wallet, there's nothing to even you know show for a tax purpose at this point or this stage.
And that document, that PDF, was that something that was sent? How was that?
Waleed was gonna he was gonna add it to the website today. Let me go look and see if he did or not. Maybe he hasn't
Okay.
added it, but he was going to.
Okay.
I was pretty sure he said he did, but maybe he didn't. I don't see it there. Yeah, I guess he hasn't added it yet. Let me ask him when he's going to add it. I figured he would have done it this morning when I sent it to him. Let's see. Yeah, sorry about that. He might have put it in the help center instead of in the Golden Hatchery. Sometimes he's not super consistent with where he puts things.
Now there
Like the
is
other day, I sent him a PDF, and he put it right there on the Trailblazer page or the Miner page, which was great. But I don't know that he
right.
did here.
The only
No,
thing,
I just don't think he's loaded it yet.
okay. I'm just making sure, yeah, no, it's not in the mirror minor PDF document that was put in there. So,
Yeah,
no,
that's where he put the one that, and he didn't put in the hatchery. So you guys, you'll see the site go down for a few seconds because I'm sure he's going to load it now. I'm sure he's seen my message. He hasn't responded yet. So you'll see that 404 come up or website can't be reached or whatever because he's going to have to reboot the servers. But I'll have him get that on there right away.
okay. All right.
I mean, I can send it in the Zoom chat for people who want it right now. I'm pretty sure.
See, let me make sure you can do that. 1 second. Boom, boom. That would be great. And until we get it on the site, perfect. You go right ahead.
All right, there it is.
I think. Okay, hold on 1 sec. Why did it not go? You have to, at the bottom, when you put it in there, click where it says two,
Hmm.
hit that drop down and click on everyone.
Oh, I just sent it to host and Pam. Well, that's all it'll allow me to send to. You might have to do it because you're the
Oh, okay.
host.
Let me, do it. Let me do this. Boom. Okay, now try it. You should.
You want me to try sending it again?
Yeah. You should have the ability to hit that drop down.
Okay, everyone.
Everyone.
Okay. All right, there it is.
There we go. So everybody in the actual chat is where you should see that document. We will also download that and put it, make sure it's in Discord as well. That so everybody can get it. All right.
Is everybody real clear on like the liquidity pool and market values and all that good stuff from what I said earlier? That's good. And tomorrow, Waleed and I are meeting on Zoom, and we're gonna work on getting up all of the so you guys can see in real time where all the MoveQuest is, what smart contracts is holding it, and what is in circulating supply. So you should see that by tomorrow or Saturday on the dashboard.
Okay, hold on. I am, let me see. It should, let me see. When was that? 7/16. And they still can't see it in the chat. Hold on. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Y'all can't see, still can't see it. Copy, paste. Ah, can you guys see it now? Okay, so it is there. Okay, perfect.
And Waleed said he's uploading it to the site.
Okay. Barb says she can't. Huh. Not sure why some can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get it posted again. 1 second.
And I'm editing the tier 5. And he's going to upload the document as well.
Okay.
So if you can't get it in the chat, you'll be able to get it on the website in about the next 10 or 15 minutes.
There you go. I just put it in there again. Everybody should have it there. Also, I'm going to add it here. Should be there. If not, we'll definitely have it. I'm sending it, so it's going to be in Discord. And Waleed will still be posting it to the website.
Yep, he's going to be uploading it here. I'm just finishing up the last little piece that he needs.
Perfect. All right, so it's already on the Discord. All right.
Yep, and I just told him to put it on the Hatchery page as well as the help section. So it'll be on the website here shortly.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
the one that Waleed will be uploading, it does have the tier 5 values. The one that people have right now don't. I just added it to the document. So it's
okay.
0.032. It's 1 point more than the tier 4. All right. So is that all we need, or the Discord link? You should be able to get the Discord link right there on the website, but
Yeah. Yeah. The document itself will be on the website here shortly.
yeah, he's uploading it right now.
So it will be on the website. If for those that have not been able to get it or open it, it is a PDF file. For those of you that PC, Mac, phone, whatever, it is a PDF document. And one question I wanted to ask Lynette. A few people asked this earlier. You did show the number of circulating MQT supply in circulation right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a place where we can go and see and find and look at that on a periodic basis other than like literally going to Snow Trace and adding up every wallet? 'Cause I know it's
Well,
like
that's what we're putting
10,000
on the
wallets.
website.
Huh?
Right. No, that's what Waleed and I are putting on the site
Okay. Okay. So right
so
now
that you
it's a
can see.
manual thing.
So basic, yeah. So you'll see in the next couple of days. We're meeting tomorrow in Zoom to go over a lot of things, and this is one of the things that I'm going over with him. So you'll be able to go to the stats page, and it will show you exactly like what my spreadsheet shows you. It'll
Okay.
show you what's in the boost contract, what's in the commission contract, what's in the evolution wallet, the evolution contract. It'll show you all of those, and then it will show you um, what is the max supply, what's in the liquidity vault, what's in the vault itself that is goes into the airdrop, or the mining distribution vault smart contract, and then it will show you what the circulating supply is. So you'll see everything my spreadsheet does, but it'll be on the dashboard, and you'll be able to get the numbers that you want. You won't have to calculate nothing. It'll just show you
Okay.
all the
Perfect.
stats right there. It
Perfect.
won't take him long to do. He just needs to know how I set it up so that he knows how to add it.
All right. So we can all be walking Lynette.
Right. You'll see it in real time.
Got it.
Yep. It'll make it easier too for like verification for CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and these different exchanges and things because they'll just go right to the website. They'll see the contracts, everything's real, in real time. It calculates everything, and it's good verification.
Got it. Got it. One other question. When the distribution of all the miners for all the other chains is ready, will we have to go in and click on each chain and click claim like we did when we was
Yep.
getting the other one? So we'll have to physically hit the
Yep.
button that says claim or whatever to pull
Yep.
them all in. Got it. Okay.
hmm So for each chain, you're going to have to make sure you have a little bit of their token because you'll have to pay the gas fee to do the claim because it's going to mint them in real time. It won't, we're not charging anything, but you will have to cover the gas fee. It'll be a
Right.
few cents
Right.
probably, but put $1 in each one or whatever.
Yeah. And you'll have to have a dollar or some change in there anyway just to register your wallet with the smart contract anyway. So
Yeah, because we don't recognize wallets. If you have nothing in your wallet, it's either a brand new wallet or it's a hacked wallet. So we just don't, it's just a rule in our smart contracts not to acknowledge those wallets so that we make sure we're not sending to a hacked wallet.
got it.
I got to tell you guys this while I'm sitting here and thinking. My credit union called me today. I've banked with them for many years. Wanted to know why I haven't used them in almost a year. I said, well, I started listing out the reasons why. What can we do to get your business back? I said, take down Bitcoin's a fraud in your lobby. Start educating your tellers so that when I come in to withdraw money and they see something from Coinbase, they're not telling me what a scam crypto is. And I have to sit there with my mouth shut when I really want to crawl through their glass thing, a little window that keeps them from me and them. And she's like, oh, she goes, I don't know that they'll do that. And I says, well, when they do, that's when I'll bring my business back. I'm like, this credit union, you know what I told them? I said, you guys got to get with the times. Wells Fargo is building their own blockchain. If Wells Fargo is building a blockchain, crypto is not a scam. That's your first sign. So if you guys go into your banks and you see that, crypto is not a scam. There's a bunch of scammers in the crypto space, but that doesn't make crypto a scam. But there's a bunch of scammers in the US dollar world too. I mean, look at all of the fraud that they're finding now. I mean, fraud is all around us. You just have to be smart. It's not just to crypto. Any other questions? Or are we good to go?
believe we are good to go. There's a chain. Boom.
Somebody put in a wallet address maybe in the, I don't know what that looks
Nah,
like for you. That did
that
somebody
was
ask
just
that?
someone that hadn't changed their user from back when you had it. When you were trying to get people to put change their name into user address.
All right, let me give you a boost document. I'm not sure if Waleed's got this one up on the website yet. I can't tell you how best to use them. It just depends on your, what your situation is. They become MoveQuest Boost. Let's see.
Yeah.
I got so many documents I got to get up on the site. All right, so let me send this one over to you guys. And you can download that. I'll also have them get these up on the website as well. And I get all these PDFs done to explain everything, and then I wait on them because I want to make sure I have everything done and I don't miss something. And then when you guys need them, you don't have them. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I have to hop into another Zoom in 30 minutes and I have to finish getting
Okay.
ready for it. So I do have to wrap up here, but
No problem. No problem. Well, once again, we want to thank you for the information, keeping us abreast of what's going on and how things are panning out. Look forward to Sunday when we um, open up tier 5. That's going to be interesting.
and I hope you guys all understand. I totally get what that person was saying though. Makes so much sense. So we hopefully everybody understands. We just have to stick to the 8.
Got you. All right. All right. That is trying to get all of this together.
Amanda's asking about the booth. I can't answer that, Amanda. Waleed would be the best person, and he explains it so much better than I do. We're going to let you know what time. We're going to announce it on the website for Sunday. Let me ask a Waleed to give me some scenarios that I can add to the boost document so people know how to use them. I haven't used them. I should just so I can know how. I did one time to say how you burn them, but on a regular basis, I haven't used them, and I should. I don't on purpose. Um, I get my steps and my what in, and I submit, but I try not to do anything that takes away from another user in the community. So I know one person doesn't make a difference, but I submit, but I don't do some of the extra things so that I don't decrease what somebody else gets. I know it's silly, but that's just how my mind works. Oh, the Super Bowl. Oh my God.
5 minutes.
What the heck were we thinking? Oh, I can't miss the Super Bowl either, so I won't miss the Super Bowl. So we gotta figure something out here. Oh my God.
5 minutes.
This is terrible.
5 minutes. That's okay. They already got
Yeah,
that.
it takes 2
They
minutes.
all already paid. We trying to get paid. So I'm sorry on that one.
Yeah, but we can't miss the Super Bowl. This is gonna be a good one.
That has nothing to do with us submitting or entering tier 5.
Yeah, you can submit and watch
I
the
can
Super
listen. I
Bowl.
can
I'm
listen
not
to
gonna.
I can go with the faith based argument, but the Super Bowl, I can't go. That's not a reason.
No, we're not going to change the day for the Super Bowl, but I'm
Okay,
not going to do
okay.
customer support or answer WhatsApp or anything like that during the Super Bowl. Not even during halftime, because halftime's one of the best parts of it. So, yeah, Super Bowl, I would be completely not available that whole 3.5 hours. But we will not delay anything that has to do with the hatchery. Everybody should have to be on their game that day.
So let's make sure we got it definitely up before then, so that there's no issues. and then we can go from there because it should fill up
Yeah.
in a relatively short period of time anyway. So
I raised 3 boys. Football is like everybody's middle name in my house.
got it.
They drugged me into their sport when they started playing it.
Got it.
I was the most obnoxious mom in the stands. Everybody knew who I was.
All right.
All right, guys.
That's all you got. We will go ahead and close it out there. Thanks to everybody for being here. We had how many tonight? 116, 120, 140, I believe 140, 150 at its peak. So it's all good. We're getting the info. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to close it out here, and we'll see you guys virtually or in the spirit on Sunday. Y'all have a good one.
There you go. Bye, everybody.
I ain't trading minutes for a paper wage. I'm writing my own story on a digital page. Every step is a heartbeat, every breath is a toll. I'm uploading the fire from the depths of my soul. The satellite is watching, the ledger's open wide. There ain't no room for lazy, and there ain't no place to hide. MoveQuest calling.
How are you?
Green, I'm the most valuable motor in this whole machine.
I do not.
This is my proof of life.
No, I had music in my ear. I didn't hear you say it.
I'm moving to earn, I'm earning to grow. From the top of the mountain to the valley below. It's a blockchain bond that you cannot break. My sweat is the currency, my life is the stake. Proof of life. They used to say wealth was a suit and a tie, but a man in a cage is just waiting to die. Now the